Nietzsche said, "The most common lie is the one you tell yourself." But here's what he didn't finish: once you master lying to yourself, you teach everyone around you to do the same thing. Think about the last time someone told you exactly what you wanted to hear. Felt good, right? Now ask yourself, did you punish them the last time they didn't? By the end of this video, you will know the exact 3 behavioral patterns that signal to people around you that honesty is dangerous, and the 2-step process to reverse the damage without blowing up every relationship you have. Most men spend decades surrounded by people who smile, agree, and disappear. You never get real feedback. You never see the actual problem coming. And when it finally hits, the divorce, the firing, the friendship that evaporated, everyone acts surprised except the people who were lying to your face for years. This is not bad luck. This is a system you built, and you can unbuild it. You reward comfortable lies more than uncomfortable truths, and people notice immediately. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations that a man should keep those around him who would tell him when he was wrong, not those who flattered him. He understood that even as emperor, the gravitational pull of power was toward yes-men. Most men are not emperors, but they create the same court. Your friend told you that business idea was solid when it wasn't. You lit up. You talked for an hour. The next friend who said, "I have some concerns," you got defensive, the energy dropped, and you moved on. You didn't yell. You didn't punish. But the lesson was delivered. This is operant conditioning running in reverse on you. You are the variable reinforcement schedule. When someone gets warmth and engagement for agreeing and gets flatness or friction for disagreeing, they learn fast, below conscious awareness, that the path of least resistance is validation. You didn't ask for this. But you built it. Your emotional reactions function as a lie detector test in reverse. They train people to hide the needle. Think about the man who cannot hear bad news without his face tightening, his voice going cold, the whole room contracting. His wife stops telling him when something is wrong at home. His team stops surfacing problems early. Not because they're weak. Because they're rational. Tolstoy's Ivan Ilyich died surrounded by people performing wellness at him because his whole life he had made real feelings socially expensive. He built a house of performance and then wondered why nobody was real with him. Emotional reactivity raises the cost of honesty. Every time a person has to brace themselves before speaking to you, they are running a calculation. Is the truth worth what this will cost me right now? If the answer is no often enough, they stop bringing the truth. They bring a story that keeps the peace. You are not surrounded by liars. You are surrounded by people who are being economically rational with their emotional energy. You ask questions that aren't questions, and people answer accordingly. "You don't think I was wrong, do you?" is not a question. "Am I overreacting?" asked with the tone of someone who has already decided they weren't, that's not a question either. Epictetus said the untrained man is buffeted by appearances. The appearance of a question without the actual openness to the answer is one of the most common forms of social manipulation, and most men do it completely unconsciously. A guy asks his buddy, "Was that a bad call at the meeting?" while listing all the reasons it wasn't. His buddy hears the real question, "Confirm me." So he does. These are called loaded questions or rhetorical traps, and they work because social creatures read tone, posture, and context before they read the literal words. When your body language, your emotional state, and your phrasing all broadcast that you want confirmation, the socially intelligent thing to do is provide it. People who tell you the truth anyway in these moments are rare, and you probably find them exhausting. That is information worth sitting with. You have never explicitly told the people in your life that honesty is safe, so they assume it isn't. Jung wrote that the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. What he meant is that most of us have built an identity around a certain image, and any information that threatens that image feels like an attack on the self. The people around you know this about you, even if they have never articulated it. Your partner, your closest friends, your colleagues, they have a mental model of what topics make you defensive, what feedback makes you shut down, what truths you simply cannot receive right now. They work around that map, not against it. Schopenhauer called the will to live the deepest human drive. Your ego is doing the same thing, protecting its survival. And everyone in your orbit is being careful not to threaten it. Psychological safety is not a corporate buzzword. It is the actual prerequisite for honest communication. If you have never explicitly created a context in which honesty is welcomed and rewarded through your reactions, your follow-up questions, your behavior after someone tells you something hard, then the default assumption is that honesty is risky. Silence is default. Smooth agreement is default. You have to actively build the alternative. The fix is not asking people to be more honest, it is changing what happens after they are. Viktor Frankl, who built his entire framework of meaning inside a concentration camp, made one core observation: humans can endure almost anything if there is a reason, a response, a consequence that makes the act meaningful. When someone tells you a hard truth and nothing changes, or worse, the relationship gets slightly colder, they learn the lesson immediately. The courage required to be honest is not infinite. It gets used up. The first time someone was real with you and it cost them something, they noted it. Maybe they tried once more. After that, they adjusted. This is the actual lever. You do not need to become a different person. You do not need to have a big conversation about honesty. You need to change one specific thing: what you do in the 30 seconds after someone tells you something you did not want to hear. If you can pause, stay open, ask a follow-up question with genuine curiosity, and thank them even briefly, even imperfectly, you begin to reverse the signal. It takes repetition. But it works, because the system that trained them to lie is the same system that can train them to stop. Here is what you are walking away with. 1. You are not surrounded by liars, you are surrounded by people responding rationally to the incentives you created. 2. Your emotional reactions function as a training signal. Every time honesty costs someone something, they file that away. 3. The fix is not a conversation about honesty, it is changing what happens in the 30 seconds after someone delivers a hard truth. The people around you are watching your response to decide if they will ever do it again. Most men never figure this out. They die wondering why no one was ever really real with them. You do not have to be one of those men. If this landed for you, subscribe. We drop one video every Tuesday and Friday, no filler, no motivational noise, just frameworks for seeing the world more clearly and acting accordingly. Hit the bell if you want it in your feed the moment it goes up. See you Tuesday.